Greetings, Little Cedar and Marshall Lutheran churches. I come to you at a lake. This is called Cedar Lake. It's up by where my parents live. I'm going to give for you your Sunday morning devotion from here, which happens to be Jesus walking on water. So that's what brings me here to Cedar Lake. I thought I would see if I can walk on water. And so here is the gospel reading according to St. Matthew, the 14th chapter. Immediately, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up onto a mountainside by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone, but the boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. During the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid." "Lord, if it is you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got out down from the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me!" Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why do you doubt?" And when they had climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." The Gospel of our Lord. Well, as I said, I'm coming to you here from Cedar Lake up in central Minnesota. This would have been a lake that I would have hung out on as a kid. There's a beach right behind the camera there that I would have swam on. And I thought I'd come out here and talk with you about Jesus walking on water. It's a pretty nice day out here. The waters are calm. We're going to play in the water here a bit. But lakes aren't always that way. If you have ever been on a lake, when a storm comes up, it can be terrifying. My brother and I, one time when we were younger, we're out on a pretty big lake, and a storm came rolling in, and waves came in, and the rain started pouring, and it was scary as we headed for the landing to take to safety. The Sea of Galilee is known as a lake that has storms come in quickly. There's a mountainside that heads up towards Jerusalem next to the Sea of Galilee, and down from that mountainside there will be storms that will roll in quickly now and then. Not very often, but when they do, they can kick up quick on the Sea of Galilee. And so for those disciples, that Sea of Galilee was scary. They were in fear, they were terrified. And when we're scared, when we're afraid, that can be challenging to keep our focus on what is important in life, to keep our focus on the important things in life. That's what fear can do to us. It can make us do some crazy things. And those disciples, as it says, they were afraid. And you'll notice then that when Peter keeps his eye on Jesus, he has no problems. He's fine. But when Peter looks down at those deep, dark blue waters, he becomes afraid. When he takes his focus off of Jesus, he becomes afraid, and he begins to sink into the depth of the sea. When we're afraid, it can be helpful to us to keep our sight on Jesus, keep our eyes on Jesus, who protects us, keeps us safe, and who saves us and redeems us. Jesus is the one who saves us. We gain our salvation through him, and we can then live in faith and trust in Him and keep our eyes on Him. Now, we'll see if I can walk on water. See you later. Well, Little Cedar and Marshall Lutheran Churches, thanks for joining me this morning for our Sunday morning devotion. I hope you have a great day. We do have outside worship tonight, 6 o'clock at Little Cedar and 7:30 at Marshall. Please join us and have an awesome day.